The year is 2018. Nations are divided, paranoia runs rampant, and as soon as you think you're safe, facts become subjective.
You are listening to Conspiracy Facts.
Doodle-doo. Hey guys, it's me, your host, or co-host.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dylan's show.
Welcome to the Dylan show today, starring Dylan. I'm your host, Dylan Van Zant. And, Ty, who are you today?
I'm Ty, and I'm just here, I guess. Fuck me.
Yeah, he's
I'm just watching on the studio audience this week.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll just do little finger snaps.
Little finger snaps. Okay, well that's, speaking of snapping, you should get Guyler to do some snaps this week.
We don't talk about Guyler on this
snapping.
podcast.
Man, I miss him. Such a good guy. Anyways.
Interesting. Maybe you should do a podcast with Guyler.
Maybe I should.
The Dylan show featuring Guyler.
Maybe. Okay, you wanna ask nicely?
No. No, he's gone. Guyler's dead, and we all need to just move on.
But, okay.
But is he? Maybe Guyler Mandela'd over into another universe.
And that brings us to today's topic. Guyler, real or fake?
No. Today's topic is the Mandela Effect.
What?
Of course, stemming from the death, or not death, of Nelson Mandela.
And the musical instrument, the mandolin.
Yes. So he was playing the mandolin in 2013, December 5th, and died tragically. He was just riffing way too hard on those strings, and he lost control.
It's at a $7 City Music Festival.
Yeah. He was kicking his heels. He was 95 years old, feeling great. And he dies, unfortunately, tragically. Rest in peace, Nelson Mandela. But upon his death, everyone collectively realizes that they have a different memory of his death. That they're pretty sure he died in the 80s. And they even go so far as to say that they remember his death being broadcast on television. Or his funeral service. Sorry.
We're here at the 24/7 live stream. Nelson Mandela's going to die soon. Oh, I think we got it.
Sorry, everyone. I would like to retract that last thing I said. This is why it's Dylan's show and not mine.
Yeah.
Clearly, I just fuck everything up. I'm no Guyler, I guess.
No, Guyler's good at things. Oh, gosh.
So, what's really weird is even though the Mandela Effect... Okay, so, I didn't even explain it. All I did was talk about
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. So, the Mandela Effect is basically the idea that everyone... has these memories that are so different. And if we're all remembering things different than they factually happened, then our memories must be true.
Right.
It must be a fact. So how can we explain that? Well, it's because, of course, as we all know, there are infinite parallel universes, and something must have happened where our reality shifted into the reality of a different universe. Excuse me.
Gosh.
And so... all of these universes are parallel, so there's just these little small changes throughout them, and that is why, you're going into universe B with the memories of universe A. And not everything is going to be different, but there's going to be small differences, and because of that shift, there's still going to be some residual memory dust floating around your mind.
I hate residuals on my head.
Yeah. God damn. So that is the Mandela Effect. And what's really interesting is even though this is a fact, we could call it the Mandela Effect. We have a skeptic in the audience today, and by the audience I mean our host Dylan on the Dylan Facts show.
I am a skeptic. I'm not fully convinced, so I'm ready to hear some facts.
Yeah, so today we're gonna bring him the facts and let him just see what they are.
Coffee break. So
I'll cut that out. So first off, Dylan, why don't you believe the facts?
Honestly,
why do you choose to be wrong?
I just, I like people arguing with me, And so I'm gonna
I can
argue.
tell.
I'm gonna argue and 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 argue
Okay.
as much as I can.
And what evidence do you have, in your mind that you believe supports your theory that this isn't true?
Yeah. See, okay, so first off, I didn't know Nelson Mandela was a person until that movie Invictus came out about the soccer team with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
I haven't seen it, so
I
if you're
haven't
making a joke
either.
about it, I don't know.
I haven't either.
I don't get the reference.
I just know that that's what that movie's about because
Oh.
he was let out of prison, all kinds of stuff like that. It's the only reason I know about him, and I remember him dying in the 80s. No, I'm kidding. I don't. No.
Before you were born.
Before
That's
I was
so
born.
interesting.
Yeah, no. No, but I don't really know that much about him, and so it's with his thing, it's just one of the I'd had evidence that he existed before he died, but then I don't know, with some of the other examples that we'll go over, I don't have that high of an attention span to where I'd pay attention to small details like the misspellings of words or different titles being spelled different ways. If I say it the way everyone else says it, I'm pretty not trying to toot my own horn, but I am pretty phonetically sound when it comes to spelling, and so maybe I might spell it the way that it should be spelled phonetically.
So that's So we're not going into other universes. It's just
I think it's just lapses in attention. I think
Okay.
I feel like that's what a lot of this is attributed to.
interesting. Well, with that, let's get into it.
All right.
So I'm going to pull up some examples here of the Mandela Effect from this nice little BuzzFeed article.
BuzzFeed.
And the first one we have is Oscar Mayer, so the Wiener Company.
Okay.
They apparently have logos that are spelled two different ways, or
What?
logos that are spelled one way, and everyone remembers the one that's different. So, OSCARMEYER. Now that is what I think is true.
Yeah, no, that's how I've always assumed. I've never spelt it out, but I've always kind of figured it to be spelled that way.
So, apparently, I can't remember which one is right and which one's wrong.
The MEYER is wrong.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, what was that song that used to be on their commercials? You remember? It was
My baloney has a
first name, it's OSCAR.
My baloney has a second name, it's MEYER.
See, MEYER.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's some
that
Mandela
is-
shit.
That is
So on here it's saying that Oscar Mayer is actually in real life factually spelled OSCARMAYER, but collective memory states that it's MEYER. Did you just get Mandela'd?
I don't know. I want to Google it. I want to make sure that BuzzFeed's not, because I know BuzzFeed is pretty refutable.
Okay.
But-
Do you have your phone?
Oh yeah, fact checker.
All right.
3000.
We're gonna fact check this with our new fact check machine.
Yeah, we
It's the facts machine. We like to send the facts.
we need a sound effect
ourselves.
for every time we pull out the fax machine.
That's good. Do you want to start editing the podcast since it's yours now?
I'll put in sound effect. We just
God,
need.
never mind.
iCarly has one of those little button things.
Soundboard,
Why
yeah.
why can't we do that?
We can totally get one of those. Okay, if we can get 50 more patrons to pledge to the podcast here, we're going to get a new soundboard with a fax machine sound effect. Spelled FACTS. Boom. Okay.
Okay, the Oscar. Okay, well, this one has. I found the song.
Okay.
You want me to play it?
Let's play the song.
Okay, Okay.
Class attention. Forward march. Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Wait, nope, this is the wrong one.
I think that's the right one.
No, that's the. I love to be an Oscar Mayer Wiener. That's all I really want to be.
Yeah, okay. If I was Oscar Mayer Wiener, everyone would be in love with me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is really a sad song about self-deprivation and wanting to be a hot dog, so that way people will love you.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about consumerism. There's a lot of commentary on that kind of shit. Let's hear this. Let's hear the real song.
My baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR.
She sounds like she's in pain.
My baloney has
Bullshit.
I love to eat it.
What the?
If you ask me what I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with biology and A.
That quality is going to sound even better over our recording system. That's great. That's so fucked.
Wow.
Because My Baloney
Here's the
has
guy
a
doing it
second
a
name. It's
cappella.
Meyer.
I want
Okay,
to make sure he
great.
does it right a cappella.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Do you think we can get that guy to do our theme song?
Yeah, we should.
Or he can do our doodle-a-doo?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the facts come out, and they are factual.
That's right. So,
Thanks, Smushy.
let's dive a little deeper now. Now we're looking at the cover of the show Sex in the City. So apparently the show isn't called Sex in the City. It's called Sex and the City.
So I knew that.
See, this is one that I found out, but I originally for years thought it was Sex in the City.
Yeah.
And I even remember like joking with a friend about it because he was like, yeah, I watched that show. And I was like, what's it about? And he was like, well, they have sex in the city. And I was like, okay.
See, I've known that one because at my place of work, the casino, we have a Sex and the City slot machine. And so I've seen that one several times.
But you don't have any prior memory of it being in the city?
Not really.
Interesting.
No.
So that means the version of you that is currently existing is actually the split universe one. So you are from this universe.
Okay, so I'm from the Sex and the City timeline, but
Yeah.
not the Oscar Mayer or the Mandela timeline. Well, no. Okay, so I'm
you
from
might
the
be
Mandela.
from the Mandela one. It
I'm
depends.
from the Mandela second timeline where
Yeah.
he dies
In
later than he
2013.
does, and the Sex and the City, but not the Oscar Mayer.
Right.
Okay, so that I'm 2/3 of the way in your reality.
Good. So We Are the Champions by Queen ends differently than we recall. So many of those familiar with the song remember the final lyrics being no time for losers because we are the champions of the world. Guess what? There's no of the world. The song just ends. Bullshit. What do you think?
So I know it happens in the song,
But it says it's not in there.
world. Maybe not at the end. I don't remember the end, but I know in the song it does say of the world.
Yeah, let's see it.
We are the champions.
No time for losers.
'Cause we are
Let's
the
play it.
champions.
This is when it is.
No, that's wrong.
No.
That's wrong.
Is this real?
Okay, hold on.
Let's go to the official.
I'm gonna look at the lyrics because I am positive that they say
This
it.
is the official Queen We Are the Champions
Yeah,
video.
but I mean, in the song they do say it. I'm not. I can't recall that it does.
Okay, let's go back to every part where they would be saying it. Okay. Let's see.
There's no time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. See?
It does say it there.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I have no recollection of...
See, I'm pretty sure it says it at the end. But you're right. That
Yeah.
could just be me remembering the middle of
Yeah.
the song and placing it at the end.
And it would be... It's one of those things where, that would be a good ending to it, you know? For it to just kind of end on the of the world. But
Yeah.
I didn't write the song.
I didn't write it either.
And Freddie Mercury has a movie made after him, and I don't.
That's true.
It's a work in progress, though.
Okay, well, great. So, okay. The Monopoly Man. That's our next one. Moving on. People think the Monopoly Man, Rich Uncle Pennybags, has a monocle, but he doesn't.
No.
And I could have swore he does have a monocle.
The Pringles... No, Mr. Peanut has one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where people get it confused because they are very visually similar, except the Peanut guy is a peanut.
Because of the top hat and the mustache.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
the
just
Peanut guy doesn't
expect
have a
him-
mustache.
You just expect a monocle. Right, he has a cane.
He has a cane. But I don't recall. Okay, you mind if I look at the picture?
Yeah, look at the picture. Because there he is with the monocle and there he is without it. And I could have swore that bitch always had a monocle up on there.
Okay, now seeing the picture, the one on the one without the monocle looks correct.
Without it?
I'll say that.
Okay.
So, I'm
So you're not from the monocle timeline.
right. Shoot.
See, I really do. But again, we'll talk about this later. As to why, like, a lot of people do believe these, even if... When presented with these... It's hard to tell which one because there's such small differences.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to look at the picture so I don't ruin the next things that you say, so I can think unobjectively.
The next one is Pikachu's tail. So the tip of Pikachu's tail, people remember it as being colored black, and then apparently in real life, the tip of his tail is not black. Now,
is it yellow?
Yeah,
okay.
It's the same color as the rest of him. Now, this one I do distinctly remember because I had a Pokemon phase, and I would always draw Pikachu, like I would doodle him at school, and I remember always drawing the end of his tail black and coloring it in.
I have Pokemon Blue on my phone. I can pull that up on the facts checker.
Well, the thing is, in this universe, this isn't real, so there's not going to be proof of him with a black tail. It's all just memory. It's in the zeitgeist. But what's weird to me is that the one with the tip of his tail being black also looks wrong. But I remember coloring it that way as a child.
I feel like the one with the tail colored black, like if it had a black tail, it'd be on the tip, like the corner, kind of like the ears are. Mm-hmm. That's how I would have colored it but I wasn't big into Pokemon growing up. But
weird, strange.
I wasn't allowed to. But I don't know.
Really? Because of the evolution?
No, because of I wasn't allowed like anything magic or dark.
Yeah, Pokemon's really dark.
It is really dark. All these monsters and stuff.
But I remember one of my family members talking to me about Pokemon because of evolution.
Oh yeah.
Because we were into church and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I was wondering if that was why.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about that one to disagree, but I could have, if you would have asked me, I would have said the tip of the tail was black. But I would have said like a corner maybe.
See, that's the thing is, I think that if we did Mandela into a yellow tip universe, it must have been a while back because I've played Pokemon and like messed with Pokemon enough like that the yellow tail looks normal to me.
Yeah.
But I do have the memory of the black tail.
Yeah.
So. And then, of course, the classic Berenstain Bears.
This is the one that, like, just kind of, like, reinforces my opinion of people just don't pay attention.
Okay.
Like, I feel like, did you ever watch the Berenstain Bears TV show?
A little bit. Mostly I read the books growing up.
I don't remember the theme song, but I feel like the theme song pronounced it as Berenstain. And that's probably where people got their pronunciation. Either that or, like, people just didn't pay attention. And, like, Berenstain, like, Steen is more of a common ending to a last name. It's more of, like, a German last name than Berenstain. Berenstain is kind of, like, it's not a very, like, Ain is not a very common ending to
Yeah. It's not very threatening either.
Yeah.
It's not like murder.
Yeah, murder instead of muck duck.
Yeah. But, okay, so I have a little bit of an opinion on this. Because I'm kind of split with this one. When I was growing up, my grandma would always read the Berenstain Bears to me, like when I was really young. Mm-hmm. I'm probably like 13. And I remember being confused because I was learning how to read. And I remember seeing it spelled EIN, which is how, it is in this universe that we're currently in. I remember it being spelled that way, but I remember her saying Berenstain and saying it was pronounced Stain, even though it was spelled with an E. And I was like, that's fucked up. So, I don't know.
And, correctly, presumably, it's with an A, right? Like, Berenstain is how it's written on the books?
No. So, it's Oh fuck, let me see.
I think that's what it is.
So no, people remember it as being Berenstain, Berenstain,
Really?
but it's actually in real life like Berenstein. But I remember it being spelled Berenstein but pronounced Berenstain, and so that's why I'm like right in the middle.
Well, okay, so I just looked up on the facts checker, on the fax machine, and it's the Berenstain Bears is a children's literature franchise created by Stan and Jan Berenstain.
Yeah,
So it's with an A
right.
on the books, but people have thought it was with an E.
With an E, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying I remember seeing it with an E,
Yeah,
but pronouncing it with an A.
I got you.
So I'm all fucked up.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, what are the two letters that are being confused here? E,
and
A. It's in the game. And this sort of ties back to our simulation theory where, this is just a little
man.
glitch.
EA Sports. It's
EA Bears. It's in the bear.
in the bear in Stain.
Mm-hmm. Or Steen.
Tide Pods.
Don't eat them.
Says who?
Tide. Did you see the commercial they made that was like, don't eat Tide Pods. Sometimes kids accidentally eat Tide Pods, so we put an extra lock on them. And I'm like, it's not kids that are eating this. It's Glozell. It's like... Anyways, next up we got Curious George.
Oh, God.
And some people say the banana was pink. Some people say the banana was blue.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. His
What
tail.
banana?
So everyone remember it. Fuck me. Everyone remembers Curious George having a tail. Apparently, he never did. Curious George doesn't have a tail. So
Can I fact check? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like.
It's okay.
I'm just trying to see this for myself because I feel like in the TV show he did.
maybe
Because that would be like the one channel we'd get growing up was PBS.
he doesn't have a tail. Apparently.
Now the picture on the left does not look right. If he had a tail, I think it would be like your typical cartoon monkey, like kind of going up and swirling.
Yeah, I think it's because someone had to draw this on because they couldn't find any pictures of him with a tail that were actually real.
Wow.
Wow, what?
He does not have. Okay, so the original that like from the books Curious George,
No tail.
no tail.
No tail, no problem. But we have a tail for you today.
And
it
keep
is
going. I'm
of
gonna Google tail.
Mandela. Google tail. Let's see what comes up.
Tail. Yeah. fax machine. Google tail. Oh wait, no, I typed in ale and it just brought up a bunch of pictures of like
pale ale.
garlic.
Oh god. So are you good on that one, or are you
Fact checking.
You still got
We do have tails.
we did. Their tails do exist, but not on Curious George. Something weird is happening with your audio. Sometimes.
That is weird. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, good. If you guys hear some mysterious clicking or anything, don't worry about it. It's just the government tapping in and listening.
Yeah, this is weird. He doesn't
Very
have a tail in any of
strange.
this. Okay.
So, but here's the thing. Why wouldn't they give Curious George a tail? Or more importantly, why would they take it away? And then not sufficiently erase our memories?
Here's what I think. I feel like they are taking all of these things that we think.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. All these things that we think were there, and they're taking them away, like Curious George's tail, the E in Berenstain Bears, the black part of Pikachu's tail,
Yeah.
and they're compiling all of this to make a monster.
Oh my god. You're right. And they have to sort of hide it from the public.
Yeah.
And they're creating this like unrest.
Yeah.
And, we're sort of maybe they're not trying to tip us off, but they're just not covering their tracks well enough. And so that's why they invent this theory of Mandela and how, oh, fuck, we must just be in other universes. They're never going to think, we're going to present them with this idea. They're going to buy into this, and they're not going to know about our secret stash of little bits and pieces of misinformation that we are using to create the ultimate weapon.
See, and this all kind of makes sense. So what you're looking at, why it's called the Mandela Effect, is because he is the prime object. We are just adding stuff onto him. We're adding on Curious George's tale to Nelson Mandela with a black tip on the end. We are changing all the E's in his name to A. So now he's
No, it's the other way. Because we remember it as A. They changed it to an E.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
No. Everyone remembers it as Berenstain. It's actually Berenstein.
No, it's actually that's what I looked up. It's Berenstain by Stan and Jan
fuck.
Berenstain.
Okay.
So
it was originally the E, and now it's changed to the A.
yeah, people remember the E.
So he's Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
Mandala. Hey, I'm the Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I got George's tail. What about it? Holy shit.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela is coming for
obscure his
us.
identity as if the tail didn't do enough.
He's like the equalizer. So now let's continue
Okay.
before we unveil any more facts about Nelson. He's like the Dark Nelson. He's like his shadow equivalent. But he's got all this.
Maybe what it is, because not all of... Ooh, what if like the E's and the A's are just switched? So really he's Nelson Mandela.
Okay. That's a good... We'll have to look into that one more. So how do you think Chick-fil-A is spelled?
How do you stink?
Stink.
How do you stink?
How do you think Chick-fil-A is spelled?
Hey, buddy, how do you stink?
How you think about this Chick-fil-A?
I think it's CHIKFILA.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Well, guess what?
What?
I remember it being spelled CHIC-FL-A.
FL?
FIL, sorry. Fool.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm dyslexic.
That's how it's pronounced.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
But it's actually CHICKFILA.
Really?
Yeah. And everyone remembers it either CHIC or CHIK.
Okay.
But it has all of the letters of the word chick, which is wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I've seen... Okay. I feel like the CHIK is from the Eat More Chicken ads, where it's CHIKEN.
Or just like apostrophe N, right?
Yeah.
Just in,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, Eat More, MOR.
Mm-hmm.
And then chick... If everything else is abbreviated,
Yeah.
Again, I think like stuff like that is lack of attention to detail, or you were just adding a K to Nelson Mandela.
Okay, but what? So the thing is, they have both the C and the K. So what is Nelson Mandela taking away from this? Like, is he getting those letters, or is he getting something else?
We're still trying to obscure his identity because we don't want him to have like his second coming, and
people be like, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!" I remember him dying
Nelson.
in 2013 and in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
So now he's Nelson Mandela.
And what's really interesting is that I think maybe this godlike Mandela entity is actually sort of hopping through these universes because of, this thing that they're doing, even though we are made to believe that, yes, this is some sort of interdimensional, we're rifting through timelines and shit. That might be a little bit of the facts.
Okay.
It's not totally false. It's not something that's totally been fabricated to distract us, because there is some truth there.
So are you thinking that Nelson Mandela is hopping through like
Dimensions,
dimensions, and kind of like in a Hamburglar-esque where he's just
Yeah.
picking up things and stealing them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but with the help of the government. So they gave him the technology to do this because they are trying to build this powerful
Time-hopping,
Superman of Superman, not Superman.
Right.
But he might have taken something from Superman. We don't know.
We don't know yet. We haven't got to the number
We haven't
17
scrolled
might
that-
surprise you.
We haven't scrolled that far down in the BuzzFeed article yet.
This is gonna get rid of every bit of credibility we've ever had. Oh, they use BuzzFeed. Oh god.
Oh, never mind. Okay. More Mandela facts when we get back from this break.
Hey guys, it's Ty here.
from the mid-roll ad universe. And here I would like to share some of my discoveries from this amazing and strange place. First of all, I wanted to tell you about AdorableAesthetic.com. Adorable Aesthetic is an online shop with tons of cute stuff. They have clothes, they have jewelry, they have plushies and other little cute toys. They have stationery and pencils and just all sorts of neat stuff. So check them out, AdorableAesthetic.com, or follow them on Instagram at AdorableAesthetic, and know that when you purchase from them, you are supporting the show. So thank you very much. My next discovery from this strange new place is my personal Patreon. On my Patreon, there is all sorts of bonus content for you to enjoy, including a podcast tier, which is $10 a month. And with this, you get early episodes of the podcast every week, as well as a monthly bonus episode. In addition to this, there are so many other tiers with other types of bonus content and ways of connecting with me. There are Skype calls and Google Hangouts, and even my personal Kick, where you can text me and we can chit chat. So check that out if you're interested in that. And then finally, we have my merch store. I have all sorts of fun merch, including shirts with my face on it, stickers with my face on it, and other shirts with other things on it, such as my crop top tee, which is a t-shirt with the Photoshop crop tool on it. And you can choose to cut that and make it an actual crop top, or wear it as a t-shirt and it's still technically a crop top. So very inclusive and fun. Links to all those things will be below. Thank you, and let's get back to the regular universe.
And we're back.
And we are back with more Mandela Effects. Mm-hmm. So next up on our list, we have the famous scene from Star Wars.
Okay.
Where
there's several of them.
Luke gets his hand cut off.
Yeah.
And Darth Vader confronts him about his paternal connection.
I know this one.
You do. Yeah. So the line, "Luke, I am your father,"
never appears.
Is not in the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that? Do you think it's one of those things like with Silence of the Lambs, where it's just such an iconic line that people have, held on to it? Or do you think it's like never even happened and people just came up with it?
I think that, like...
I guess I should clarify. In Silence of the Lambs, he never says, "Hello, Clarice," when she walks in. And everyone remembers that scene as like she walks in to meet him for the first time and he says, "Hello, Clarice."
Oh. See, I don't know. I feel like people, like, it's just kind of an iconic line that would be a very iconic line was it in the movie. But since that movie's been out since the 70s and people, like, it... I don't really have a good explanation for it. But I think it's more of a marketing propaganda than a people remember it as being in that.
Okay. If they're going to use a line to market their movie, why not put that line in the movie for real?
I mean, have you seen the scripts of Star Wars? I love Star Wars, but the scripts aren't that perfectly written.
Right.
And, if you just quote the real line of just, "I am your father," or "No, I am your father."
No, I am your father.
Yeah. No, that's like, where's like, who is it about? That
right, but like, why would everyone remember that as being like a spoiler line? Like, that is something that even if you've never seen Star Wars, the line, "Luke, I am your father." Right. I remember having a Darth Vader helmet toy as a kid. Yeah. With like buttons on it, and it would talk. Yeah. And it said the line, "Luke, I am your father," which means that someone had to go in and like record that separately, which is so strange to me because like they're selling merchandise for the films, like licensed with this line that was never in the movie, but everyone collectively remembers being in the movie. Yeah. And I wonder if I had that helmet today, if it would still say that, or if it would say, "No, I am your father,"
or just no,
just no. So you don't think it was ever in there? Because I think that
anytime that I've watched it, I've never heard it.
I know.
I don't remember hearing it ever. I remember hearing it like at school, people saying it, but I don't remember ever watching the movie.
So you think everyone's just wrong?
I think so. Okay. I don't think I'm the problem. I think everyone else is the problem.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. Another Star Wars Mandela fact.
Okay.
C-3po has a silver leg. He isn't all gold. Do you remember him having a silver leg?
No.
Me neither.
Is there a picture of it?
Yeah, let's see. Let's pull it up.
Pull it up.
Yep. His, from the calf down on the right side, stage left, C-3po right, is silver. And you can see it in clips of the original movie and stuff.
That, I've never noticed that.
And I even had little action figures of them, and I don't remember him having a silver leg on the action figure.
Okay, so what about that might have also just been for like A New Hope. Like, see if you can find a picture of, because that's A New Hope.
Yeah.
Plus, also in the new Star Wars trilogy,
Yeah.
you might not recognize C-3PO because he has a red arm.
So it might just be for that movie. See here, he has a red arm, but he doesn't have a silver leg.
Right.
Strange.
See if you can like Google here. I'll fact.
Yeah, pull it up because I can't get to my keyboard
Okay.
with the microphone situation.
C-3PO. Okay. So here is a screen cap from episode 6, and you. I guess it's silver there, but it's very hard to distinguish.
That's hard to tell, yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like a little bit of a different color. And
Yeah.
It might be because of the reflection of the gold-looking lights behind that it looks a little gold.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that could be silver if seen in the right light.
Yeah. And I mean, all these other pictures that I'm seeing are silver.
But, you know, like
I've-
you said, it could be just missed attention to detail.
Yeah.
But then again...
You never know.
You never know, because I think a nice little robotic shin and calf would be perfect for Nelson Mandela. Mandalak.
And you don't really know what I was going to mention earlier is you don't really know if it's a C or a K or a CK, because when you look at his name tag that says Nelson Mandela, it's one of those that are kind of like the scratchy ones where if you hold it like one way, it's like with a C.
It's holographic.
Yeah, holographic. And then as you turn it more to the middle, it's CK. And then as you turn it to the other side, it's
And his
just a
eyes
K.
move.
His eyes move. His eyes are always looking at you.
So when you look at the Nelson Mandela card straight on,
Yeah.
it just looks like Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Then as you turn it, you start seeing all these little pieces of different universes that he's stolen.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I'm going to skip number 11, which is Mr. Rogers' theme song is different than people remember because of like when we played the last one with audio, you couldn't even hear it. Like it didn't show up on the waveform. So I don't feel like let's just fuck that one.
Okay.
Next is the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
She smiles and everyone says that she used to not smile at all.
I've always heard that she's had like a bit of a smile, and
A
people
little
were
smirk.
a little something, and people like the mystery had been why is she smiling?
Why is she smiling?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've always heard.
Yeah. So I've heard that because here we have up on the screen like two very different versions of the Mona Lisa, but there was something with like detail loss over time. And then I've always heard of the Mona Lisa's smile.
Right.
I've always heard why is she smiling. So
she's not smiling? Is that what they're saying, or she is?
they say that she used to be emotionless and now she's smiling.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that she's always had a little bit of a smirk.
Yeah, me too.
So did Nelson Mandela take her smirk?
He took like all the sadness and anger and hatred. Now she's just full of glee.
That's right. That's good.
But that anger
But-
fuels him.
Yeah. That fares not too well for us.
Also took her eyebrows.
The Mona Nelson. Okay.
Yeah. The Mo Nelson.
The Nelson Monadella. Delic. You're right. Okay. Next up, we have the Kit Kat logo.
Okay.
Do you remember it with a dash in the middle of the words kit and cat? Or do you remember it just KITKAT, no dash? because I have a very distinct memory of this one.
If I were to type it out, I would type it out with a dash. I'd have to see the logo to know which one.
Break me off a piece of that
Fancy
football
feast.
cream. Which one looks right to you? The dash or no dash? And don't read.
No, I'm not. I mean, they both look right.
Mm-hmm. Make a decision. Make an assessment.
Okay, I'm just going to have to go with the logic on it. I got to go no dash because I know that Kit Kat is a popular candy in China because it's actually like a lucky phrase in Chinese.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. So, you're right. There is no dash. But I so remember there being a dash.
I feel like they're like... I don't know.
I think
the
there
dash
should be a
is
dash.
very convincing.
I'm convinced by the dash. But Nelson Monadelac
No,
has come and taken the dash.
I think it would work better as like because Mo Nelson because they
Mo Nelson.
because
Yeah,
there's the
Mona. You're right. Mo Nelson.
Mo Nelson
Mandela.
Mandela. See, now you don't even notice
Mo Nelson
the
Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
Exactly.
You're just like, that sounds oddly familiar. Mo Nelson Mandela.
Mandela. And that's what they want you to think is like, that's so different that it couldn't possibly be tied together.
True.
So, number 14. People remember a Sinbad genie movie from the 90s, but there isn't one. See, I don't remember this because
Like a genie from Aladdin?
like a genie. So it was called Kazam.
Oh.
And everyone remembers Sinbad starring in a genie movie called Kazam. But that never existed. And people have even made mock-ups of like recreating the movie poster.
Huh.
But I have no comment on this one because I was born too late in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
To know. Next up. So if this is true though, let's get into the facts of this. Why would
Mo Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. I'm going to keep going with Nelson Mandela.
You can even call him MN.
Yeah. Why would M-Dog
M-Dog.
M Night Monster Lawn. Why would he need to take a genie movie from the universe? Just
grant
purely
himself
for
wishes.
entertainment, or okay?
Yeah. And how
So
he
the
activates
fiction.
his-
Do you think that the fiction of whatever he's stealing from is true in him stealing that he's taking the actual
any aspect that he's taking, like he took the dash in Kit Kat so he can run faster, so he can dash.
Wow.
He can dash.
That's scary.
Yeah, the genie part. All he has to do, I mean, he can grant himself wishes, and to activate his power,
no.
just Kazam.
No, genies only grant other people wishes. Maybe that's part
Maybe
of
he
why
grants
he's
Nelson Mandela wishes.
Maybe that's why he's universe hopping.
Yeah.
So he can just grant people's wishes, or because he doesn't want to be caught. He doesn't want to have to grant wishes. And in the lore of Mona Nelson Mandela,
Something like that.
yeah, he's not contained by a lamp. He's contained by universes, and he's got to like rift through and steal what he can
Okay.
to become all powerful.
Huh.
Number 15, life. Okay. What's the line from Forrest Gump
So
involving a box of chocolates?
So I've never seen Forrest Gump, but
What?
From what I mean, I've always heard life is like a box of chocolates.
Okay, so you're wrong about not ever seeing Forrest Gump, and apparently you're
I've
also
seen it?
wrong about... No, you're just wrong because you haven't seen
Oh,
it.
gotcha.
So the line is, life was like a box of chocolates.
Ah.
But I also remember Mom always said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And I've never seen it, so I don't know how he says it. But he could have just kind of blended his words together. Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know.
I don't
know.
I guess so.
That reminds me, this kind of ties into our secondary theory. I met a guy, or not met a guy. There's a guy I dealt to at the casino. Never seen Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God.
He's a Kiwi, so he's from New Zealand.
Wow.
But he's like we were singing we're off to see the wizard just for fun, and he's like, oh, I don't even get that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, the Wizard of Oz? Yeah, I've never seen it. And his wife is like, I've been married to you for like 30-something years, and I've never known you've never seen the Wizard of Oz.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
That's like part of the experience of like human existence.
Right.
You have to have seen the Wizard of Oz.
Maybe in a previous universe he had seen it.
Probably.
And Mo Nelson Mandela took it from him.
Mo Nelson Mandela took that experience from him. What an asshole. So I think maybe one of the reasons Mo Nelson Mandela has taken
there you go
is and replaced it with was is because
of the wonderful things he does.
Because of the tense. So he doesn't want was as in past tense, because as he's hopping through these universes, he needs to
stay present.
Yeah, exactly.
That right there. Oh, he's a smart guy.
Mm-hmm. And that's why all of our memories are fucked up, because was, Meyer. Now it is Mayer.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo, 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 bongo.
So
was I saying bingo or was I saying bongo the whole time?
You said two different words.
What did I?
Yeah. So let's just sort of hash out. First of all, let's find a better name for Mo Nelson Mandela, because
we could.
Okay,
so what if we like shorten the name? Get rid of some of the extra, like Nelson Mandela. What if is that a good name for him? It kind of gets the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
Or we could call him something like Mega Nelson. Nelson Megadella.
I think you had a good name earlier. Superman.
Superman. So Superman. Superman Origins, the Nelson Mandela story. Oh God. Why? What is his plan? What is he doing? We know that he has been like government sanctioned. They have gone to Nelson Mandela and they have said, do it. Just do it. And Nike's involved. Yeah. And he's going in and out of these universes. He's taking little bits and pieces, and everyone's remembering things differently. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the CIA is actually, on board with it at this point, or if he's gotten too powerful and now they're like just trying to cover this up so people don't find out what the fuck is going on with this dude.
Maybe the CIA started this whole thing as kind of a test of just, timeline hopping. Mm-hmm. But now Nelson Mandela, Superman, has gotten too powerful.
Right.
And now the CIA no longer has control over him because they're like, man, I wish we could give him this, which granted, because he's a genie.
You're right.
Yeah.
But he can choose, he can choose to not grant those wishes by just rifting out of the timeline entirely into a new one.
But here's what the CIA needs to figure out. This can easily be stopped because all they have to do is, man, I wish we could catch Nelson Mandela. I wish we could catch Superman.
Yeah.
Whoop. We got him.
Caught.
Yeah. We.
But then again, he could choose to not grant that wish by just getting out of there real fast. But what we really should consider doing is sewing up all the holes in our timeline so that Mandela can't get through them.
That's the thing about it.
We have to patch the rift.
I think that would have been easier, like whenever seamstresses were, and what's the male term of that? A seamstress and a seamster.
Seamily.
A seamily. All the seamstresses and the seamilies were
a seamo.
Yeah. Sesame Streets.
Yeah.
Were like more common.
Yeah.
And we could get them to sew it up.
Yeah. And now it's like we need someone who's so experienced that they can patch up like the space-time continuum and shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to find.
I know who we can call on, but we have to hop timelines though.
Who's that?
Betsy Ross. AKA Miss American Flag.
But that is misremembered because she didn't actually do it. That is something that Superman has fucked with your memory of.
Oh, so
that's why he did that.
To call for Betsy Ross.
Yeah, he went back and he fucked all of that up. so that we would get her and waste all of our time. And by then he's made so many tears that we're never going to be able to find the original. And he's stealing the Declaration of Independence.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
That's right. It's everyone. It's Mona Nelson. So our next, what is this called? Mandela Effect on the list is one that I actually mentioned earlier, which is that Hannibal Lecter never said hello, Clarice.
Which I've never seen that movie, so like,
what?
Yeah, I know.
You've never seen Hannibal and the Lecters?
No, I've seen lectures about Hannibal Buress.
Damn.
I go to
well, this is the prequel, and you need to like get educated.
Gotcha.
If you really want context for that.
Yeah, I go to like seminars and stuff for Hannibal Buress.
I'm sure those are so entertaining, so illuminating.
Oh God.
So that's that. Next up, we have the Queen in Snow White never said mirror, mirror on the wall. Now, this one in particular really fucked me up because I used to watch this movie all the time as a child. And I legitimately have always thought the quote was mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the dopest bitch of all? Who's the thickest bit?
Who's the freshest fish in the mall?
Who's another brick in the wall? All in all. We're all just another brick in Mona Nelson's wall.
Nelson's wall. See, I've never seen. Well, no, I have seen Snow White, but it's been like years, so I don't have any strong memories attached. I don't have an opinion either way.
No opinion. No comment.
If I had to have an opinion, I'd say probably.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Got it. So next on our list, we got Jiffy peanut butter. It was never Jiffy. It's always been called Jif.
Jif, yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah, no, Jif peanut butter exists.
Wow, it does.
Yeah.
But Jiffy was never a thing.
No, there's that Skippy brand that's like
true.
The squeezable. And
but dude, I distinctly remember Jiffy brand peanut butter.
Jiffy Puff is like marshmallows.
Maybe I'm just thinking of too many different like dessert-esque paste products.
Maybe I mean, so the picture that they do have in the article is pretty high def, but it looks like it might be out of an episode of like Arthur.
It's from American Dad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And it's from an episode where they're investigating a conspiracy. So maybe that has some facts underneath.
Now that begs the question: what would the Superman want to do with all the stolen Jiffy peanut butter?
Well, I've kind of been thinking about this. And so it has been popularly believed in the conspiracy fact community that Mona Nelson is a malicious interdimensional trickster who's taking different pieces of every dimension to make themselves some sort of like all-powerful being. But I've been digging a little deeper into the facts, and it almost seems as if that's not the real Nelson Mandela. That's a CIA clone who went rogue, like we discussed earlier. But the reason that Mona Nelson is taking all these things is because he's found an empty universe in his universe hopping, and he's trying to actually, in a very kind, sweet way, almost like present to his makers the perfect universe.
I get you.
He's taking all the things we like. He's taking the Jiffy peanut butter. He's taking the hyphen and the Kit Kat logo. He's saying, "You love Curious George's tale."
See,
look what I made you, Father. Don't you love me?
No, that is a fact, because it is. I mean, it is a fact.
That's no fact.
But another. I mean, my facts on the matter. Now, okay, so the past two facts that we went over, what were they both? They were stuff that hadn't been said that we thought had been said. Same with the Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not stuff that's added on to Mona Nelson, Superman.
Right.
Maybe here's what the CIA, since the CIA can't really stop Mona Nelson, what they're doing is they're impairing his speech. So that way he can't grant wishes by taking away words. And here's how they do it. They put peanut butter on the roof of his mouth. So they're stockpiling on Jiffy peanut butter. So they have unlimited supply.
Yeah.
And just sticking it to the roof of his mouth. And so Mona Nelson,
he's taking these little bits of media, these words and phrases and stuff to try to communicate to us.
Yeah.
To tell us about his beautiful new universe that he's created for us.
But instead, all you get is just a...
Oh, good. That's perfect for the audio podcast that we do. I love that.
That's all you get because he has peanut butter just stuck to the roof of his mouth, so he can't. I mean, it's a CIA ploy. Because if Mona Nelson can do it, so can the CIA.
It's like MK Nelson. Project MK Nelson.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Bow bow. Day bow bow.
Which doesn't even sound like the actual. Okay.
No,
anyways,
it doesn't.
Aside from the It's Always Sunny. Okay. The final thing on our list. Here it is. Number 20. Fruit Loops is actually spelled Fruit Loops.
The way you pronounce it's like a U with an umlaut.
It has an umlaut.
Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops.
So instead of being spelled Fruit, like everyone agrees that it should be, it's spelled Froot. And some really fucked up shit happened with your waveform about 30 seconds back. So I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
RIP in peace if that made a bunch of crazy noise, but we'll get there when we get there.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll do our best. So that is the
Well, so wait. So is it Fruit Loops or is it fruit? Like, is it with a UIT?
No, it's spelled Froot.
Oh, okay.
Loops.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
I've seen that, but I always thought it was Fruit, but that could just be my mind thinking the word fruit is spelled like fruit.
Now, here's one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look it up because I can't remember exactly. But how do you spell like the air freshener Febreze?
Febreze.
Incorrect.
How do you spell it? Is it like F comma?
No.
Febreze. Is it faux breezy?
Oh, sorry. I'm getting the fax machine out.
While you check the fax machine, I'm going to tell you this. I'm looking at the logo of the actual Fruit Loops box, and it seems that it isn't actually even spelled Froot Loops. It's spelled FR with a two different Fruit Loops in the place of the letters where the O's would be. So I think that not only did Mona Nelson take UI, but he also took the double O's. So he's just systematically taking different pieces of the alphabet where he can. He has the A from Oscar Mayer, also the A from Berenstain Bears,
the UI from fruit,
and also the OO from fruit.
That's what's left over from the umlaut.
Exactly. So
Febreze is, how did you say it was spelled?
Febreeze.
Incorrect.
Febreze.
Febreze, just one E.
Oh, weird.
So it's Febreze.
Sponsored
by Febreze. Luder Gudenschnuden.
Fruit Loops and Febreze. A very good dinner. Welcome to my universe. I'm the Mona Nelson.
I'm the Mona Nelson, aka Superman. Why? How come he now has a Swedish accent? Well, not even a Swedish accent.
Swedish accent.
He sounds like those like text to speech prompts, but like a Swedish accent. Like, ew, where is my strudel?
Would you like a wiener? Oscar Mayer.
Keep cat.
Kit.
Berenstain. Kit. Cat.
Oh, Mona Nelson. You horrific abomination. How could we do this? We shouldn't have tried to play God.
How did this?
Your universe is a hellscape.
Oh God, I can't imagine living a day in the life of the Mona Nelson. The Mona Nelson.
Yeah. So those are our Mona Nelson facts, aka the Mandela Effect.
Maybe he has a Swedish accent because of all the peanut butter on the roof of his mouth.
That's probably it. It's not even an accent. It's
just peanut butter
at this point. Yeah, a debilitating residual paste.
Yeah,
that's collected up.
It's like a gum goose. And with that, we move on to our next segment of the podcast, which is the every 80s song played chronologically tells the story of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Conspiracy fact.
We need to get the actual the consistent name for that and sticky note it to the computer.
Yeah.
So that way
that way I don't have to try to explain it every time.
Yeah, I feel like we're just given the rules each time for the title.
Yeah, we should come up. What's the name of this segment?
I mean, I like our original every 80s song played back to back. Tells the story of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but I feel like we could do something that a fun title and then explain the rules. If it was maybe
Wizard of Oz, 80s or not.
80s or not. We'll workshop that.
Okay.
So this week in the news of the Billboard Top 100 of the 1980s, we are listening to It's Still Rock and Roll. Sorry, I'm looking at 60 different songs. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me by Billy Joel.
Oh.
So take a moment now and go listen to that song.
I just type in "it's" and Google autofilter it. Still rock and roll to me.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay.
That's
no, I know that they're fucking listening. I know that, but it's one of those where I'm just it's convenient.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you think of it that way.
It's like Walmart having things on end caps.
It's a little different. Yeah. Walmart doesn't come into your home and see what you buy and then put that out on the end cap.
That's actually what they do for the Walmart pickup. Because my mom, for Mother's Day, she went to the Walmart pickup. And she'd only used it maybe 2 times before. And they gave her a Mother's Day gift basket with some things that she's frequently bought. And then other things that she might like based on the stuff she's bought.
Whoa. So I think we're ready to bust open the facts.
Pink sidewinders and a bright orange pair of pants. That's almost what the lion's wearing.
It's very close. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
Let's figure it out. Billy Joel, Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Billy Joel.
So for me, I think the facts here are pretty clear. Mm-hmm. To him, he's not concerned with conforming and changing. Mm-hmm. It's still rock and roll to him. Yeah. And I think that is sort of the message that Dorothy, I almost said Daphne.
Daphne as well.
I think that's sort of what she has to learn, is that she can live her best life no matter where she is. Mm-hmm. And that she doesn't have to go live in a big city and have a fun life. She can live on a farm and be a humble dog owner. And it's still rock and roll, man.
It is still rock and roll. And that's what he's saying in the lyrics right there is, quote, this part of the song's in quotes. Well, you could really be a Beau Brummel baby if you just give it half a chance. Who doesn't want to be Beau Brummel?
I don't know Beau Brummel.
You don't know Beau Brummel? Me
no.
neither.
Okay, perfect.
But you could be a real Beau Brummel.
You could be.
But, I mean, that's the thing. Is
or
Dorothy,
you could be Dorothy.
You could be Dorothy. And she kind of has to decide, do I want to be, do I want to be the one that saves all the munchkins and be the new...
They're not in peril. What are you
from the witch?
Oh.
Yeah, the witch and her flying monkeys.
You're right.
I guess. I mean, they're not hanging by their ankles, but it's like a supreme overlord.
Yeah, you're right. But, we should really watch the movie sometime soon, because it's been years for me.
Yeah. It's been years for me too. I don't know. It's crazy, but I think that's what it is, and it hints at different people, places, and things.
Yeah, there's a lot of nouns going on in there.
Yeah.
And that's why there's so much to unpack with it.
True. Very true.
You got to sort through all those people, places, and
like,
things.
There's easily 10
6
lines of lyrics on there.
Yeah.
And so therefore you gotta unload every single one of them to know exactly what Billy Joel was thinking when he's like, all right, your job is to write a song about Dorothy and her personality.
Yep.
And her inner turmoil that we don't really cover in the film.
Yeah, that is maybe vaguely hinted at sometimes.
What clothes do I wear? Are these ruby slippers good enough for... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
Without outright saying it, he's basically putting it all out on the line there. Owls are in the movie, so
out and meal.
Yeah. Owl City, Weird Al, they're all musicians just like Billy Joel. And that's where we're going to wrap up today's episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to the facts. This one was really fun.
This one was fun.
Don't forget to subscribe. Goodness, I'm being hacked. They're trying to
oh no,
put Geiler's code into me, and I'm rejecting it. So
maybe you're just a clone of Geiler, and you're starting to deteriorate.
That's true.
Shit, boy.
So make sure to subscribe to the new channel, Conspiracy Facts, on YouTube. Listen to us on iTunes and
subscribe to the old channel,
SoundCloud. Yeah, subscribe to the old channel, which is just my personal channel, Ty Turner. I can't even get my name right.
Subscribe to Buns and Matherin.
Subscribe to Buns and Matherin.
3-year-old videos of me.
So an update on the SoundCloud situation. I don't want to pay for more memory on there, so sometimes our episodes are late. But we're on iTunes and shit, and you can find us a lot of other places. So
we should see if we can get Spotify to record us once.
Yeah, to come out here and record.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love that. Yeah, I'm looking into Spotify. We're gonna figure that one out. We're going to tackle that one. It's our next...
I don't think they like being tackled. We could do a handshake agreement.
We're going to handshake them. All right. Thank you guys for listening. And as always...
Technologicize your minds.
Wow.